Most Reverend Richard F. Sticka, Reverend Dr. Julius Abu, Reverend Dr. Father John Orr, former pastor of this parish, Reverend Michael Woods, principal concelebrant, all priests who are concelebrating, Reverend Monsignor Bill Gehagen, former pastor of this parish also, and all family and friends of Father Julius Abu, welcome to this 25th anniversary of ordination to the priesthood. It's an honor for me to be able to celebrate, preach and tell the good news of what God has done in the life of this priest for 25 years. Now, I was recently on a long backpacking trip that took me deep into the backcountry of the state of New Mexico, far away from the noise and the lights of the city. There in that dark backcountry, there was one night when the moon was full. It rose with a regal silver color, one that should resonate with this event, and was bright enough to light up the whole night sky. I wanted to sit in that moment forever. It was so beautiful. Sit and stare and wonder I did for a while, but then it moved, and it went behind a mountain out of my sight. I was sad for a moment until I thought, that's what moons do. It wasn't meant to stay still and in one place. It had an orbit that was ordained from on high, and the moon would not glorify the Creator if it stayed put in disobedience just to indulge my desire. And so that was the first lesson I learned from the moon during that trip. Now, over the course of the next 2 weeks in the backcountry wilderness, as I wandered through the mountainous northern New Mexico, I had the privilege of seeing that unpolluted sky and a further phenomenon of the moon. I noticed the moon wane as it made its way around the earth in that monthly orbit that causes the moon to take on its descent from full to gibbous to crescent to new, and then back again. And that's the second lesson I took from the moon. It moves, but it also changes, and from different angles and different aspects does its job of lighting up the night sky. The third and final lesson one learns from the moon is that of hope. The moon has no light of its own. Its soil is but a mirror reflecting the sun's rays back to us here on earth. And the cause of our hope is that when the earth turns away from the sun and darkness covers the land, there is yet a beacon in the sky that reminds us that even though there is darkness around us now, the sun is still shining bright, constant, and faithful as he is. This argent and effulgent, ever-moving, ever-changing, mirroring orb in the sky is, in my mind, a great analogy for the priesthood. As I was reflecting on these phenomena, I thought of Father Julius Abu, a priest of Jesus Christ forever, according to the order of Melchizedek, but who has exercised this ministry on earth for 25 years. Like the moon, he's not stayed in one place. Rather, he's moved around, as priests are wont to do, and as ordained from on high and holy obedience. And his ministry has been diverse, waxing and waning, taking on different shapes and aspects, serving all the while as a guide to the transcendent for those in the valley of darkness, faithfully reflecting the light of the sun as the sun has willed it. Now, Father Abu, 25 years ago, you may have wanted that moment of your ordination to stay fresh and vibrant, an ever-present moment. But that is not what your ordination was meant to be or to do. It was really a death and a resurrection, and the beginning of a cycle towards something out of this world. Your ordination launched you into a different orbit with a new trajectory. It was the day you died to earth in order to become the moon reflecting the sun. Julius Abu, on July 18th, 1992, you died in a cathedral, standing before a bishop, lying down before a bishop, who received your self-oblation, but then who brought you to a new kind of life by the touch of his apostolic hands upon your head, linking you in an unbroken line to Jesus Christ himself, and by the invocation of the same Spirit which breathed over the waters at the beginning and which burned as flames upon the heads of the 12 at Pentecost. This was your new moon phase. And although there was a hiddenness to it, the light you received was gradually revealed over time as you eased into ministry in your first 2 assignments as parochial vicar. But the priesthood moved you. It wasn't meant to stay still. The call to come and follow me cast shadows in your life that made it a mosaic of places, of peoples, and of apostolates, from parish ministry in Africa, work in the diocesan curia, further studies in Rome, travels throughout Europe. You served as a seminary formator, professor, and spiritual director till your arrival here in blessed East Tennessee. Who could have predicted this movement? But it shouldn't take us by surprise. The waxing and waning of a priest's life and ministry is part and parcel of the journey of the Master himself, whom we reflect. Foxes have their dens and birds have their nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head, and no servant is greater than his master. No priest has an earthly home that he's allowed to be too attached to. He's an agent of a kingdom not of this earth. His citizenship, like all Christians, is in heaven. And he has been sent into the world to lead people there. And like the moon in the night, to remind us that the dawn of salvation is not far. The sun still shines brightly, even if we don't see it. Now, like the great patron of parish priests who made a deal with a shepherd boy, you show me the way to ours, and I'll show you the way to heaven, so you too, Reverend Dr. Julius Abu, have walked through the foggy fields of this world, pointing people towards the Son of God, Jesus Christ. Now, this can be a daunting thing for priests, especially when he's in the dark phases of his journey with the Son. It's only in looking back that you can see how the Lord has worked through you. You probably thought that at times your words made no impact, your labor bore no fruit. But in reality, and we can all attest to this, your mere presence and the gravity of your divinely inspired office made tides rise and fall in people's lives and in their souls. Even if all you did was stay close to your people and reflect the light of the sun. Now, these 25 years of priestly service have surely gained you wisdom that will serve you also into the future. You have reaped where you did not sow. You have sowed where you will not reap. And so generously and wisely sow and reap until the Lord calls you home. And so now as we look towards the future, another 25 years perhaps, you still have work to do, Reverend Dr. Julius Abu, and light to reflect upon the people of God. Other cities, too, need the gospel preached to them. Other sheep that do not belong to this fold need the ministration of a shepherd. And to them, too, you will go. You must go. This is part of the Good Shepherd's master plan. He is the true pastor of souls. You are the moon to his sun. And you will need to reflect his light when and where he calls you. He has made the impossible possible. He has made the crops to grow while you slept. It was not your merit that made you what you are. Rather, it was only by His gracious gift 25 years ago that you offer His sacrifice and forgive in His name. It's only in Him that you offer that triple office of governing, teaching, and sanctifying. And so therefore, never forget to stay close to the source of your ministry. After all, what is a moon without its star to make it bright? What is a priest who doesn't stay close to Jesus Christ? He is your only source of light, and in His light you will walk ex umbris et imaginibus in veritatem, from the shadows and echoes of your soul into the truth of Jesus Christ, and there to find your holiness. For you, Reverend Julius Abu, you have been anointed to bring glad tidings to the lowly, to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to captives and release to the prisoners, to announce a year of favor from the Lord and a day of vindication by our God. In a word, you have become that moon in our darkness to give us hope that one day all of us can and will reflect the rays of the rising sun when He comes in His glory. Ad multos annos, multos gloriosos quae annos, vivas, laudetur Jesus Christus, semper laudetur. May Jesus Christ be praised, now and forever.